Today we are breaking down Valley, the bigger, meaner version of Farm. It's a wide open map built for confident players with more long-range fights, higher loot potential, and one of the most contested zones in the game. If Farm is for learning PvP, Valley is for testing that skill, in a map that if you don't know how to use it to your advantage, you'll die to players who do know how. In this video we're covering Valley's hotspots, best routes, extracts, and PvP tips. The video is timestamped so you can scrub through and come back anytime. Unlike the intimate circular map, Valley is very hostile, with lots of long-range sightlines. Valley raids are 30 minutes long, and there is a maximum of 20 players per raid, which is 8 players more than Farm. Speaking generally, Valley has a lot of high ground around the edges of the map and the lower ground in the center, which has better loot, but it's riskier. Most routes funnel players into the beach villa in the south center of the map, and there are spawns on the west, north, and east. Let's go into the in-depth map and rotation section now. Okay, so my map here marks all the spawns with these green circles, and obviously all the extracts with these markers here. There is a lot of extracts on this map, and they're not always active in your raid. Obviously, if you spawn on this side of the map, these are the extracts you'll be taking, and same thing if you spawn on this side of the map, you'll be taking these extracts. This extract and this extract are always there. These are conditionally there, sometimes they spawn, sometimes they don't, and this is the special extract of the map where you need to bring in 2 dog tags, which if you go to the beach villa area, you will most likely get. So as I was saying, speaking generally, all of this on the map is high ground, and all of this is low ground. However, the best loot is in this area. I have also found good loot from this area, which is the factory, and also this area here. So first of all, let's talk about map flow, and then we'll talk about where to anticipate fights. So if Farm is shaped like this is the map flow of Farm, then Valley is actually like this. Obviously, a little bit different if you're spawning here and you're coming down from here, or if you're extracting there, whatever. The main thing to keep in mind is that at all points you can be fired on because there is so many close by spawns. If you're spawning on the west side of the map, you're most likely going to be heading to supply camp, frontier positions, factory, and beachhead positions. If you're spawning on the east side of the map, you're most likely first going to be looting Eastern Farm, maybe Crash Canyon, Noan Courtyard, maybe Radar Station, or Radio Station. Here's some things you may want to be aware of. If you're spawning on the east, you may want to go to this area here so that you have good optics on Vacation Beach. This is a classic rat spot for anybody on the east side of the map that's trying to make a beeline to the villa. If you spawn on the extreme east of the map, you want to always be scanning this part of the map because this is high ground and you will be getting fired on. They have great optics on you if you're moving down this big road here. Same goes for if you spawn on the southwest of the map. You're going to be going maybe across Reef Beach or across this road, and you can get fired on from frontier positions, supply camp, abandoned shack, and beachhead positions. It's a very dangerous part of the raid. The number one area you can expect PvP is supply camp and this forest below it. There is always PvP here because people rush supply camp, and it's basically all of the people on this side of the map fighting, and some of the north of the map as well. When you spawn here or here, you may rush the Eastern Farm because there's a safe there. However, people here will be rushing Eastern Farm as well, and they can stand on this road and take shots at you in the very uncovered farm, so keep that in mind. Finally, people come from fucking all angles towards the Noan Courtyard, so be careful. If you're the first to get there, expect to see resistance either on the way out or while you're there. Now, if you have somehow made it past this beach or made it past this beach and you're going towards Villa, be careful. People in port and people in the radio station have clear optics towards Villa, and I have experienced people who like to sit up there with long-range weapons and take shots at people entering the villa. A new bombshell has entered the villa. So, keeping this map flow in mind, it's safe to say that, once again I'm speaking generally, in what I call the high ground part of the map, which is all of here, is where your first fight will be, and what I call the low ground part of the map, which is all of here, will be where your second fight is. That said, if you go to Beach Villa, you will have a fight. That's almost guaranteed unless you're there right at the end of the game. My personal favorite route is spawning on this side of the map, maybe looting Eastern Farm, maybe looting Crash Canyon. So I'm going this way, I'm getting into my first fight here, then I continue at the villa. I'd probably get into a fight at the villa. If I'm quick, I won't. And then I'm extracting at port, or if I have something very valuable, I'm going north into this forest here, and I'm extracting out this way or out this way because it's a lot safer on the second half of the raid. This place is a fucking war zone at the beginning of the raid. If I'm spawning on this side of the map, I'm going to frontier positions, supply camp, having my first fight at supply camp or factory. Then I'm going down to beach villa and extracting via this boat, or out here, or maybe even out here if it's been a good raid, or conversely if it's been a bad raid and I want more loot. So to summarize, fights happen here first and here second. If you're here, watch here because you're getting fired at from here. If you're here, watch here because you're getting fired at from here. Okay? There'll almost always be a fight here at the beginning. There'll always be a fight here whenever. Honestly, I don't have much to say about the boss. I've seen him spawn here. He was very easy to clear out on lockdown zone. And he has pretty mid loot. And so do his goons. As far as the 2 safe rooms in Beach Villa, they are very good. I have another of the cheapest versus most expensive key videos coming out for Villa. And spoiler alert, it is 2 safe rooms in the Villa. If you don't want to go to Villa and you just want to get your money up and maybe just engage in your first fight and skip your second fight, here are some routes I can recommend. Spawning on this side of the map, keep it to the north. Honestly, just change the map flow from this to this. Honestly, that is the best advice I can give you if you're just trying to get your money up. If you're trying to take out some players, consider camping in either of these areas and taking shots, or rushing up and trying to hit this. I have a feeling when this video is out, people won't be falling for this anymore, which is a shame. And at the beginning of the map, especially if you spawn here or here, I would always recommend just basically circling this forest here, because there is always squads and they're most likely fighting. Honestly, it's a lot more difficult to make a map guide for this map because it's just not farm. Farm is the most textbook map in the game, with the big road going through it and its infinity sign map flow. There's a lot more to consider with Valley, and a lot of the time you don't have textbook raids. They're very different depending on what happens and just randomness. Okay guys, so I appreciate that was a lot with map flow. Like I said, it's not as simple as farm. Let's just talk a little bit more about looting. There are a couple of areas that are not Villa that I think are really good. The underground area of Factory has a lot of fantastic loot. I found a lot of fantastic loot in Noan Courtyard, and honestly, I don't find very much good stuff in Frontier Positions or Supply Camp. I barely make it to Pino Radio Station, so I really can't speak. It's so out of the way, I almost never go there unless I'm sniping at Villa. I have found some decent stuff at Barn and Farm, but nothing crazy. Command Post and Radar Station are decent, but again, nothing crazy, quite like Farm and Barn. This is sort of the golden... Oh my god, I can't believe I just drew that. This part of the map and this part of the map are sort of the golden... It's the golden third of the map where there is the decent loot. Keep in mind, if you are in this crazy area at the beginning of the raid where there's all that combat, there is a safe deposit box somewhere around here where you can put loot in if you've already looted something really good. He's at the shack. I'm down. So to summarize, this is the map flow we're dealing with. We must keep it in mind. We'll have an early fight at the north most likely, and a late fight at the south. Now obviously don't come at me with pitchforks and flaming torches. If you have your first fight at the south, you should always be anticipating enemies, especially now that you know that the spawns are around the outside and there's one on the inside on either side of the map. But as I was saying, the 3 evil triangles are as followed on this map where all the PvP takes place. And Factory also. There's just... Every time I go to Factory, there's a fight there. I don't know what to tell you. It's a really weird location. Sometimes it's totally dead and I meet people outside it, or sometimes I just hear fighting happen all the time. But there's good loot there, that's why people go there. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm not gonna lie, I was struggling to get this video out because I'm so focused on Arc Raiders. The channel will be shifting to Arc Raiders, so I hope you play that. Because I don't want everybody to stop watching my videos. Honestly, Arena Breakout Infinite is fun, but I don't think it has the staying power for me, unlike other games like Arc Raiders, Tarkov, and Dark and Darker. Lots of love, everybody. Peace!